What's up guys, in this video I want to break down how to get the most out of stretching, basically with the point of improving flexibility, reducing stiffness. Maybe your stiffness is leading to soreness. You kind of want to avoid becoming one of those roid heads that can't even like scratch their own back because they're so stiff. So just want to break down how to stretch. I haven't actually seen many people talk about this specific strategy, but yeah, shouldn't require too much time per week to do, and we'll break it down like that. So yeah, basically this is about how to actually stretch for flexibility and improved range of motion. So being able to like get your arm overhead behind you in places where you might be able to, you want to be able to have as much range of motion so you can be capable as a human being and just do things, right? If you're really stiff and limited, you're going to walk weird, you maybe have some issues later. So if we get some good stretching, we're going to be good. As I said, I've seen a huge misconception when it comes to stretching online. I haven't really seen anyone mention the idea that I'm going to go through today about being meditative. A lot of people say to push through it. I don't think that's the right way to do it. So personally, I've had no flexibility issues. I really only stretch 5 minutes before my sessions. Like I've done that for the last 5 years and I don't have any flexibility issues. I feel pretty limber. And I have a physical job. I play sports. I play OzTag as well once a week. And I haven't had any issues with flexibility. And that's stretching 20 minutes, right? I do 4 sessions a week. I stretch just before I train for only a few minutes, 5 minutes, and that is good to go. So range of motion feels great. Never really put too much thought into it, to be honest. I kind of just do some stretches in areas where I feel tight. And yeah, so basically what I want to start out with is what's called the muscle spindle. So you can see our little muscle here and this kind of sensory neuron receptor here that is attached to it. The function of this little receptor is to stop us stretching too far and snapping, okay? So if you ever thought why you can't stretch further than your body really allows, this is the little sensor in the body that stops you going so far that you'll snap tendons, snap muscles, and just make sure that you will stay within your range of motion, which is great, especially when we're lifting things, jumping, moving around in sports, diving, tagging, tackling people. We get pretty thrown around. So this is very useful in these cases, but it also has a downside, which is when it comes to our flexibility, it's very limiting, right? It maybe is over activating and we get a little bit stiff, and then in that range, it now understands that you cannot even improve to a sufficient range of motion, so you become more and more stiff. So for us to gain more flexibility, we need to override this little inhibitor and allow more range in the muscle. Good thing is I have a way to do that, don't stress. Typically, the muscle spindle will activate when you push hard into a stretch, right? So you'll notice that instantly. As soon as you go to stretch something, you'll feel a resistance, kind of a pulling force. That's the muscle spindle activating and just forcing your muscle to basically not stretch that far. So what we need to do is we need to go easier, okay? Be much more gentle. The spindle typically relaxes after about 7 seconds of low intensity stretching. So I would say that's about a 4 out of 10, right? Think of the scale of intensity and pain when you push a stretch. If you go all the way and really feel an intensity there, I might call that a 10 out of 10, especially if it's painful. So just find a 4. A 4 is really, it feels like almost too little stretch, a 4 out of 10, to make progress. But that's kind of where you want to be. So with that context in mind, what we need to do, we need to be gentle. We need to treat our stretch like we're a monk, all right? We're trying to find our inner state of peace. We don't need to go intense. We need to take it slow and take some deep breaths. So instead of forcing our muscle into deeper and deeper positions and just pushing into those positions and trying to get them, what we need to do is the opposite, okay? We start taking some deep breaths. We basically take a deep breath in and prime yourself. And then as you exhale, you will try to find more length in the stretch, okay? For example, if I'm stretching, let's say my trap here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn. I'm going to put a little bit of tension in it. Let's say 4 out of 10. I'm going to take a deep breath. Then when I breathe out, I'll try to deepen that stretch. Okay, so breath in. And as you breathe out, if you'll do a few deep breaths. When you breathe out, you'll find a little bit more range. Sometimes you won't find more range, but you just take another deep breath and then you'll find more range. And after about 30 to 60 seconds, you kind of get the most out of your current state of stretching. So you'll get a little bit more into it. You'll get some good flexibility there. and then you can go and maybe do your workout then, or do whatever, right? You don't have to stretch before the workout, but you can stretch whenever. But 30 to 60 seconds of deep breaths. Take a deep breath in, as much as you can kind of muster, and then as you breathe out, you find more access to that muscle, okay? You find more length. So that's really it. That's the kind of strategy behind stretching. For me, typically I do it before I train, but obviously you can fit it in wherever. And also, a little extra kind of addition here is when it comes to your training, whether if I'm coaching you, then I'll add these already, but add stretch-based exercises into your program as well. For example, deadlifts really stretch out the hamstrings. We do a bench press, you come down nice and low, maybe like an incline dumbbell press, come down nice and low, you're gonna get a nice stretch on the chest. We do some behind the body bicep curl with a cable. You're gonna find a lot of length through the bicep. So a lot of these exercises are not only training resistance training and growing the muscle, but you're also getting a huge stretch out of it, right? Lat pull down, for example, as well. As you come all the way overhead, you're gonna get a huge stretch in the shoulder girdle, in the lat, in the back, and find a nice stretch there as well, provided you go through the full range of motion. So yeah, I just thought that was neat to add on at the end. And yeah, I hope you guys have found this valuable. But if we run down through a quick TLDR, stretch like a monk in meditation for quick, effective flexibility, right? Stretching is great for improving flexibility, reducing stiffness, soreness, all those limitations that you kind of picture a huge bodybuilder to have where he can't reach his back. To improve the flexibility, treat stretching like that meditative practice, as I mentioned. Don't push into the stretch. You simply want to take some deep breaths, and then when you exhale out, find more length in the muscle. Rinse and repeat that for about 30 seconds. Deep breath in, deep breath out, find more length. Deep breath in, deep breath out, find more length, and then you'll kind of reach a diminishing returns where you can't find any more. But that's all you really need to do. That is the act of stretching. Now, typically I do mine before training, spend about 5 minutes only on it. And I train 4 days a week, so I do like 20 minutes of stretching total and include high range stretch-based exercises such as RDLs, lat pull downs, incline dumbbell press, all these things. We can get a lot of range of motion, a lot of stretch on the muscles, and you'll find that that's useful as well. So go out there, do your best with stretching, guys. Make sure you're nice and limber for the exercises. Mobility is kind of the precursor to having stability and being strong. So make sure that your mobility is good and you'll be very happy with how everything goes. But yeah, take care, give it a try, and I'll see you in the next one.